I was actually in a shit mood. I went for a walk away from the venue because I was having such a bad time, and I bumped into some old friends. I started talking to this girl that I'd known, and I came back and boom, one thing changed in the way I was acting. And I was talking to everybody. I was getting in a good conversation. I was smiling. I genuinely wanted to be there around those people, and I realized that was friendly. Wherever I was, when I ended up being friendly, people would react really well and they would love my company, and you would be able to tell. I made good friends, and here's some photos. But bro, if you're struggling with making friends right now, fair enough. If you want my personal help with that, fixing that problem so that you have amazing friends, click the link in the description now. But by the end of this video, you will know how to make good friends easily and keep them. And the way to do this is through friendliness. And I'm gonna teach you how to be more friendly. One day I asked my friend, we were sitting down at dinner, and I was like, what does friendly even mean again, bro? And he said, well, the most important thing about being friendly is talking to everybody. And I remember I used to really struggle with this. Once I was in the gym and I was looking around, I saw a couple of people my age, and guess what I did? I went up to them. Psych, bro, I did not go up to them. I went to my fucking set and minded my own business, and I did not say hi. But I've worked on that and I've improved that, because the other week I was at the gym and I saw this guy and I was like, yo, what's up? I said hi to him and we ended up having a really good chat. We ended up getting along really well. And all I did when I went up to him, I said, well, hey, what's your name? And that led me into such a great conversation. And it was easy because I could talk about something we had in common. I was like, oh, yeah, how long have you been going to the gym? What kind of workout are you doing? It was easy to have a good conversation because he's also a gym bro. The other thing that helped me start talking to more people was understanding that, because most of us don't even know how to talk to people. And I was talking to this girl once, I was hanging out with her, and the first time I met her, she came up to me, she was like, hey, you're Finn, right? I was like, yeah, what about you? What's your name? And we introduced ourselves, and then immediately she segued our entire conversation to some like 20-second story about random shit that was going on over there, which it wasn't really related, but the whole story, I never once thought like, oh, that's weird. Why would she ask me that? Why would she tell me that story? No, I never thought that. I thought, oh, she's really interesting, like, really easy to talk to as well. And I ended up having this really amazing chat with her. You know, I still overestimate the importance of linking conversations together to make sense. If you're not going to take this girl's approach, where she talks about whatever she wants, and this was just one example. There's other times where she sings the alphabet, she says weird shit. If you're going to take the approach of just telling random stories that have been going on in your life, if you're going to take that approach of being social, you don't need to think too much about like, making it connect or making it make sense when you tell a story. You should genuinely just feel free to tell a story. And sometimes if you want, you can just say this sentence, the craziest thing happened, and then you tell some story, even if it's not crazy. But there's one time I was in class, and it was like more than a year ago, and I went up to these two girls, and I had an alright conversation, but I was stuttering a lot. I was really fucking nervous, I can't lie to you. And I did the same conversation a while later, and what had changed was only one thing. Because the next time I went to talk to them, you know, I asked some questions at first, and then it's silent, and then I just started telling stories about things that had been going on in my life recently. And they were really interested, they were having a good laugh and everything. And that's when I realized that people aren't judgy, and that if you don't know what to say in a conversation, relax, just tell a story. 90% of communication for our whole of human history has been stories. So if, for example, I met somebody and I was talking about the gym, they'd be like, I'd say, oh yeah, I remember when I was doing that exercise, like, oh, and then my shoulder nearly felt like it was tearing out. That's how I talk to people a lot of the time, is just through stories. I don't really, like, when you're asking questions back and forth, it's not really the best conversation. So a summary, bro, for you to talk to better people more easily. If you see somebody, just relax, bro. Take that deep breath. Go up to somebody, just say hi. Introduce yourself. And then ask them about something related to where you are. Like how long you've been going to the gym, or how long you've been doing Muay Thai, or what are you doing here today? And you know, it doesn't really matter what you say. And then you can just tell a story after that. Pretty much just segue into a story. And I find that when I'm telling the stories, then I get way more comfortable with just having the regular conversation. But if you're still struggling, I completely understand. Click the link in the description now, and we're gonna work on this together and fix it forever, bro. And the thing is, bro, I didn't get better at this till I tried it for myself. So I got a question. You've been watching all of this video. Are you really gonna take action? you're really gonna make a difference in your life. If you genuinely want something to change, then you're gonna message somebody, pick up your phone and message somebody right now, asking them to hang out tomorrow, or at least on this weekend, next weekend. Because bro, first of all, literally I did this last night. I reached out to this guy that I forgot that he even existed, but we had some good chats before, and I reached out to him and I was like, yo, let's meet up in a week. And we're fucking meeting up, we're gonna have a good time, because even though we're out of touch, I like the guy, I had a good convo with him back in the day, and I wanted to meet up with him again, I wanted to see him. And so it's not weird at all to reach out to him. In fact, there's other people who I've reached out to who maybe I'm a little bit more distant with, but it's fine, because if we hang out, it'll be fine, because nobody's ever gonna react negatively and say, oh fuck you, I don't want to come. Anyways, people will just react nicely and say, oh sorry man, I'm not free, if they don't want to see you. Remember when I was sitting down at this table asking my friend about friendliness? Well, the next thing he said was that you need to be smiling. I remember this one time I met this guy. I was like, yo, what's up, what's your name, bro? And then he said his name afterwards, just for respect, I'm not gonna say it. But he didn't smile at all. But this other guy, this other new kid, I met him. I was like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, yo, what's up, bro? How you doing? And you can tell the biggest difference in the world when I'm like, hey man, how you doing? Compared to, hey, how you doing, bro? Massive difference, night and day. I fucking hated the first guy. Kept it to myself, I'm not a dickhead, but that guy was he pissed me off. I fucking hate him to this day, just because it's just so fucking annoying when you bring such good energy and there's this fucking stupid kid who's not smiling. And the only reason I got aggressive is because I want you guys to see how a lot of people think. I'm so fucking nice in that regard that I would never say anything. I would never disrespect anyone and say like, oh, I fucking hate you. I would never say any of that. But I want you guys to realize how it makes some people feel when you're not smiling. It's a bigger difference than you think. Somebody might hate you because you're not smiling. Then back at the table, next thing my friend said was, he said, most people don't get this, but one thing that you really need to be friendly is you need to genuinely care about the people around you. And I realized basically I was out this one night and there was these people talking about my friend, and I fully defended him behind his back, and I didn't expect anything back. I just did it because it's the right thing to do. And literally half a week ago, I was having a really bad day and I was literally on the phone with that same guy, talking away, talking about my problems and everything. And if I was a fucking dickhead, I don't think that guy would have been there for me, because what goes around comes around. When I did that act of care for my friend, I wasn't thinking about what I could get in return at all. I wasn't thinking that. But it's just the truth that came back around. He was there for me when I needed it, and I was there for him when he needed it. And I would always have done that. And there's this guy, he's a friend of mine, but when you ask him to do a favor for you, he's like, no. And you're like, yo, pass me that. He's too fucking stuck up in his own way to do a small little favor for somebody. And what I learned about that is fucking fair enough. You're not bothered to do some shit. But what I really learned was that if you just do these small favors, it makes such a big difference of how much people can like you. Because it pisses me off so much when this guy's like, oh, no, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, that's not fair. Fuck up. But the point that I'm making here is, I'm still being honest, because I want you guys to know there's shit that you might do that pisses people off, that kills the friendly vibe. If you won't even do a little favor for somebody, I don't know what's wrong with you. Because let me tell you this story, bro. My friend, he was like, and I used to be a bit of a people pleaser, so I'm trying to have better boundaries now and everything. And I was asking you, I was like, yo, you mind doing that little favor for me? Nah, bro, I told you I'm trying not to be a people pleaser. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? That's not people pleasing, you're just a dickhead now. Because being nice and doing favors is good. There's a difference between being excessive and being nice. If somebody every day is like, do this, then fuck them. But if somebody who always asks you to do stuff for you, if you ask him to do stuff for you and he does stuff for you, then he's not a bad person. Then he's not using you at all. Clearly not. But when it's somebody who just wants a lot from you, expects everything from you, and doesn't give you a single thing back, then maybe. Or it's not even using you. If you don't even confront him about it and say, you're always making me do these little things, but it's really annoying, but I just wish that you would do some stuff back for me. A lot of the time, if you're hanging out with a good quality guy, he's gonna be like, oh, I'm really sorry, man, I didn't mean to. if it's a dickhead, if you do that to a dickhead, they'll be like, you're just over exaggerating, bro, and manipulate the fuck out of you, laugh at you. Keep that in mind. That's what I would do if in that situation. Basically, a quick summary, bro. Give out as much kindness as possible, because the amount of things that I've gotten back in return just because I've been really nice to a lot of people always comes back. Always. Even if it's like half a year or 3 years later, absolutely always comes back, and you have no idea. Don't focus on why you're being nice because you want things in return. Just focus on like genuinely caring about other people, and that's the likable trait. People really pick up on that and really want to be around you. And in the end, bro, it's a way better way to live, because if you're always waiting for somebody to pay you back and for the value to be equal, you're wasting your fucking time. Just fucking let it be. And the last thing that my friend told me, that when we were sitting down to eat, and he was like, yo, that all makes sense for being friendly, but there's one little thing. I think it's a very small but impactful thing. He said, you need to be in a really good mood. Like, this one night, I was out with my friends, and when I got there, I was like super warm. I was like, yo, how we all doing? Like, super happy. And by me being happy, I reflected that amazing vibe to everybody else. And that's part of friendliness, making people feel comfortable and happy to be around you. Being in a good mood, I realized it was really simple, because that night, the night before that I'd gone out, I was in bed at 10, and I had this book on my bed. I left it there because I knew that if I didn't leave it on top of my bed, I would probably fucking never see it. But I got on my bed, and there was some shit that I was interested in. It was like, I'm into self-help books a bit, but you might be into fucking comics or anime or some weird shit, right? But whatever it is, I just read, and after about fucking 50 minutes, I clocked it, bro. I was like, just like fully out. Next morning, I woke up 8:30, I'm pretty sure, of energy, absolutely full of energy. And I only read because I was interested in it. Because when I tried to read some stupid English book and shit, I never ended up actually reading it. I just fucking chuck it and think about cool shit going on in the day and overthink bad shit. But then I would wake up with no alarm, and those two things combined, going to sleep at early enough time where I powered off my phone and got into bed, started reading, and then turned my lights out when I was tired. Pairing that with reading something I'm interested in, and then the next day waking up naturally, best fucking day afterwards. I was in such a good mood. I had so much energy. I was so happy. And to add on to that, I went to go train. I went to go box. And after that, I was just throwing out joke after joke. I was so happy. I was in the best mood that anybody has probably ever seen me in. And all the boys noticed. They were like, you're in a really good mood today. So that's how you bring good energy, bro. Glass empty, trying to give other people water, which is good energy, when you have no fucking water. So just get a good night of sleep, train, pour yourself some fucking water, and then you can give more water to other people, and you click better with other people. Once you're friendly, bro, it's just written in dust that you're gonna make. You're gonna meet a fuck ton of people. That's why I told you to message somebody, because if you're going out and you're being friendly and you're with one guy, and you go and talk to some new guy, you're gonna make friends so fast. And you know, I literally, when I go out with this specific friend, I don't think I've ever gone out with him and not met somebody new. So why don't you just be that guy? Why don't you be the guy who you're friendly enough and you go out and you guys just meet a bunch of new people? Send it, bro. Go and invite that friend to hang out and be friendly when you guys go out. You can really ask anybody to hang out. There was this girl about 2 years ago in December. I was hanging out with a group of my friends, and she was there with a few girls. And then 6 months later, I hadn't messaged her since. I was like, hey, are you in town? Do you want to go meet up? And we ended up having like a really good chat. So just feel free to always send it. Just go and hang out with these girls. You will never regret taking that action. If you want my personal help with any of this stuff, I'll give you as much attention as you need. Just click the link in the description now. Have a great day, bro.